Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Saturday, and it is 12 noon Central Standard Time. And I'd like to welcome you to another edition of From the Desk of Dr. Ron. I always like to, bring topics that people talk to me about. And I think this one will be an interesting one today, so you don't want to miss any part of this broadcast. So before we get started, I always like to give a shout out to somebody. Somebody I'm going to shout out. And as always, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt is my mentor, and he has been my friend. And I have been traveling with him and been hanging out with him for 30 plus years. And by him being my mentor, I always like to acknowledge him when I go live so that people know that I do have somebody, as wild as I may be on occasion, that can reel me in and say, hey, you way out there in left field. Also my mentor in broadcasting, Mr. Lee Michaels. I'd like to give him a shout out on today because he has been riding my back for the last 3 or 4 years trying to get me to perfect what I do. Okay. So I thank him and shout out to him as well. So this broadcast is dedicated to answering questions that come across my desk from time to time. And this topic came up actually on one of the shows that we do, Street News Now. And, my brother in broadcasting, Mr. Mike Love, was getting his rant on one show about, how when people get money, they run down to, the most expensive shoes or the most expensive purses, and they spend their money in these stores and there's no return on the dollar. So yeah, you may have an expensive purse, you may have an expensive pair of shoes, you may have an expensive outfit with a label on it that some people may recognize and some people cannot. Now, in my journalistic, if you can call this journalistic endeavors, I have interviewed many fashion designers. And many of the designers that I had on my show, they explained to me about the couture fashion industry, where they have exclusive designs only made by them and nobody else. And when people see them, they know that, ooh, that's a XYZ. And I understand the concern and the passion that Mike Love had about this subject and this topic. And I agree with him that most of us have difficulties, paying our bills. So, the question, can you afford it to be in a fashion icon, walking around with red bottom shoes and Coach purses, designer items that can really, break the bank. And, and then some people carry it to a point where they got their kids wearing tennis shoes that they're going to outgrow in 3 months. I remember when Jordan was putting out a pair of shoes every year. And, some people that were into the tennis shoe era, they had to have every pair of Jordans that came out. And can you afford that? Those type of items are not an investment item. And I would like to see people, instead of investing into fashion, take that same money, save it up, open up a trading account, and learn how to trade the market. where whatever you do in the market will eventually give you a return on the dollar, unless you just make some bad decisions. And then it'll hurt you to the point where you will not be able to recover. But fashion, you buy these items. I saw a social media skit on this week, and it speaks so loud to this. It was so funny. The guy was running down the street. He saw two women walking side by side, and he snatched one of them's purse. So they were screaming like, "Oh, he snatched my purse! He snatched my purse!" So then, 30 seconds later, he brought the purse back. Here. She said, "You bringing the purse back?" He said, "Yeah, it's a knockoff. It ain't even real." He said, "And your debit card ain't nothing I can do with that. It's broken. So I can't even stick it in the ATM machine." So to me, I recognize the fact that there's a lot of people like that lady out there, just out there, trying to impress who, what, where, why. Why are you trying to impress somebody? If you've got kids, you've got elderly family, that you can do much more than trying to walk around with a purse with a fashion label on it. Now, I can't even name all the designer labels because I have not paid that much attention to it. But if you stop and ask somebody that's into fashion, can you really afford that? Can you afford to be that icon, whether it's real or fake? Do you even want people to think that you're rolling like that? Some of these people really need to do a self-evaluation, because you don't need those items to exemplify your worth, or to validate your worth, or to send out a message that I'm all of that because I got this item, this fashion item. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not, opposed to people that want to, go out and can afford to indulge in these things. But there are many people that can't. When you pay your rent every month, are you putting money aside to buy your own house so you can have your name on a mortgage somewhere and be able to leave a legacy for your family in the future? Think about those kind of things. If you start out when you're young, then you might be able to pay cash for your house if you put money aside and save up and say, "Hey, this is for my house." One of the things that I'm so proud of my son, every time I talk to him, he's working two jobs. He's working 5 days a week, then he's working another 2 days a week. He has a young son of his own. And he's setting the example that, look, son, if you put the time in while you're young, then you'll have something that you can sit back and enjoy when you get older. And he's striving and working hard to be able to acquire a house, okay? And I encourage him every chance I get. And I also encourage him to think about trying to get a business of his own. So if you want to have success, put money aside and find a product or find a business that you can start that will help you move to the next level in your life, and leave something for your children, okay? I never will forget a conversation I had with my son when he was about 17 years old. And we were sitting around, and he was looking at me, and he said, "Yeah, yeah, I said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to get all of that one day." I said, "What?" "Yeah, all that bling bling you got, in that car, all that's going to be mine." I said, "Boy, you crazy." I said, "Why would you even think about things like that, that's going to be yours?" Okay? get out and get your own. Struggle and get your own. Well, see, I'm the only son you got left. So, yeah, all that's going to be mine. I'm like, son, don't even think like that. Don't even think like that. Your mentality needs to adjust so that you're not sitting around waiting on somebody to pass away, to no longer be in this realm of life, to be able to get the stuff that you got. Go out and get some stuff of your own if that's what you want. Okay? So we started out talking about fashion, and I just wanted to tie all these things together. Some people cannot afford to be fashion icons. And I would encourage you on today to think about it before you do it. Don't go stand in a line trying to get the latest pair of tennis shoes or the latest pair of jeans or the latest, purse or the latest anything when any old pair of shoes will do. Don't try to dress your children up, in some clothes that you're going to be sorry that you spent that money on later, because now you got to eat, something that could have been saved money, and you could have eat more healthy food than trying to be the fashion icon that you see the Joneses do. They used to have a song back in the day, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I want to say it was by The Temptation, so don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Think for yourself. Say, hey, I really don't need this. Where am I going to go? Where I need to be walking the red carpet, where I need to have these type of fashion statements. Now, just as a news flash, I know sometimes we look at events and we see red carpets and we see these lovely, beautiful stars, celebrities. Well, guess what? Because of their celebrity and their star power, fashion designers will loan those clothes to them. They will loan the jewelry to them. So they're not even buying those items. They're loaned to them. And after that event, somebody's standing there to get their clothes back or standing there to get their jewelry back, so that the event, they got that advertisement for that event, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be keeping those things, and they spent, thousands and thousands of dollars to be able to march down that red carpet with those items that belong to them. Now, don't get me wrong, some people can afford to do it. But unless somebody is giving you something to put in your collection for you to wear on a special occasion, rethink that. Rethink about how you can leave a legacy for your family in the future to come. Okay, I'm done for today. I want to encourage everybody to follow me. Please keep up with everything that I'm doing. I do a show each and every Tuesday, Facebook Live, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can catch me on Facebook every Tuesday. Don't forget to check me out on Tuesday. Also, you can find me on Street News Now each and every Thursday on Facebook and on YouTube Live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, I am here each and every Saturday, 12 noon, from the desk of Dr. Ron. Please support what we're doing. You can also make contributions. Go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. So support all of my advertisers that are there. Please subscribe, like, and share. Every time I go live, you will get a notification that will let you know I am on the air once again. I want to thank you all. Please join me on tomorrow. I will be doing my Black History Moment right on Facebook Live. So please check me out each and every show that I am doing. And I appreciate and thank everybody that have made contributions up to this time. So you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you